Yeah, me and him graduated together. But I've been living here for about a year or two now. That's how I started doing the podcast.
I kicked my mother out. I
He came
was
with the show. Yeah.
I was like, listen, Mom, my good friend Pete needs a place to stay, so get the fuck out.
He's a good son. He's a good son.
With the conversation.
Where's everything? Sweet. We're back, and we got Bob Marsdale live. Bob, where do you live? Philly?
I actually live in Medford, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's what I was wondering. I didn't know how long of a commute it was.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad to get down here.
Yeah. But, and how long have you been doing comedy for?
About 9 years.
Nice, dude.
9 years, yeah.
That's a good amount of time.
Yeah, I started kind of late.
I think that's better though. Like
Yeah.
a few people have said that too. Like I always wanted to when I was younger, and like I never did. I went to an open mic that Brewer was headlining and
really?
showcasing, whatever. Yeah, and I got there. This was in my 20s, and I signed in. They welcomed me, and I sat down. Nobody said anything else, and then watching the comedians, and then I was like, all right, I gotta be going up soon. And then all of a sudden, they call up the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and then they call up Jim Brewer. I'm like, what the fuck? And I had 20 of my friends go, because that's what you had to do.
Right. Oh, yeah,
Everybody paid to get in. And so my one friend grabbed the owner of the establishment and said, what's going on? My friend's here for the open mic. He signed in. Oh, well, you were supposed to be in a meeting. Because I wasn't in the meeting, like with the other comedians, which nobody told me about when I signed in. And I said to the person at the table that it was my first one. They didn't even mention it. Like,
Yeah.
He made good.
And
he
then
said,
they gave everybody refunds, right? They took
No. He said he offered that I could go after Jim, and I'm like, I can't follow Jim Brewer. Like, on my,
What was it up in like Central Jersey?
it was at Stress Factory.
The Stress
Vinny.
Factory, yeah.
And Vinny, like, he made it like, but then he said, you can come back anytime. Come back anytime and do it. And I just never did.
Yeah.
Never did. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually, I mean, for an open mic to have 20 people show up,
Maybe it was
that's a
like
lot of
10.
people.
I don't remember who.
2 people is
but
a lot of people. Show
Yeah,
up at an
I
open
did.
Mic.
However many they asked.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
nobody.
I brought.
I mean, like it might be like the first time you go out, your buddies will come, and that's kind of the thing. But yeah, I mean, to get that many people is pretty good. So
yeah.
So you guys do open mics where there's just no audience?
it's kind of like all comedians.
Yeah.
Wow.
9 times out of 10, and there'll be like a friend here, a friend there, and it's usually what it is like another comedian that's putting it on. So it's basically for everybody to kind of go up there and kind of work out their material and practice. So, you're doing it, but there's like all the comedians in the audience, so it's a little bit difficult to even get a laugh because nobody really gives a shit. Because
they're
working on their stuff too. They're probably like,
and I do it too. I'm sitting there, okay, well, how am I going to
yeah.
do this? So you might write a new bit or whatever, but it kind of gets you up and working on stuff, and it's a good thing. And for guys that are just starting out, it kind of, I never did an open mic. I like the way I started was kind of strange. I entered. Well, my wife entered me in this contest, and I thought maybe I'd get more sex if I did it. So like, okay, I'll do this shit. And it was in Medford, this place called the Flying W. And the guy, there was a bunch of comedians. He gave us 20 minutes, which now, of course, I know is insane. Right. But at the time, I didn't know. So I'm like working on this 20-minute bit the first time I went out, and I was probably like, I'm going to say, I mean, it was like a 3+ hour show. It was like insane, which another no-no. I mean, if you're having a comedy show, you want to keep it like under 2 hours at the worst.
Yeah.
Maybe an hour and a half,
long show.
But, yeah, so I'm up there, and I did pretty well. And the next thing, they call me up that I won this thing. I got this freaking trophy that my wife's been begging me to throw out, and I'm like, I'm not letting this the fuck go.
No way. That's awesome. That's a cool story, man.
Yes, and then I kind of, one of the guys was there, used to hang out at Helium, and he's like, "Hey, you're funny to these guys. Go down there." So I went down. I did this workshop, and I became really good friends with Brad Trackman, who I'm still very good friends with. He's probably one of my best friends in comedy. I mean, if not the best friend. The guy's opened up all kinds of doors for me. So I did well like in his workshop, and then you kind of do like a thing where you go out and you perform at the club, and then they film it for you, so you get a pretty decent tape, and then. He sent me on auditions, and every time I had the audition, I got it. So then
Wow.
And then I started going on a road with him a little bit, and also that's kind of, and then it's just kind of evolved.
You just like
from
stepped
that.
in shit. That's awesome. Like
Yeah, I had
that's
no
great.
talent. I just stepped in shit. Like, this,
Like, did your wife just know you were funny? Because that's like, there's so many jobs I work at. There's just funny dudes. Like, they're funnier than some of the comedians I've seen. Like, guys when I worked in printing and stuff. Like,
I mean, I just, you know, since I was a kid, I was like kind of like Thanksgiving and shit like that. I would be like entertaining people because I had a knack for doing voices, and I, you know, I'm pretty quick at seeing like very observing things and then kind of picking up on that. So she's like, everybody's like, oh, you should be a comedian. Then I was a radio disc jockey, which kind of gave me an outlet to do some comedy on the radio, but never really like true stand up where you're the guy. And then I don't know, she was after me, and I was like, finally, you know, and my dad was alive at the time. He's like, he thought me and my brother's pretty funny too. So he wanted us to be on television. So anyway, I was like, you know, fuck it, I'll do this contest. But as it got closer and closer, I'm like, I really was pretty nervous.
yeah, I know. I was nervous.
It was packed. I mean, it was like 250 people at this thing. It was huge. It was like it's so different than what you would have experienced.
Yeah.
But it was good. So like the first thing I said, I got this. I basically like what they call a house laugh. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's like basically everybody's laughing at your joke. And like right after that, it was like I was kind of in the zone, and I did well. And you know, not that I've not had nights that were kind of shitty, but you know, pretty much I've been fortunate. I've never really eaten it on stage yet. So that's probably next Friday when I'm down in Delaware.
You worked in radio?
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, I started in college radio, and then I started hosting like I went to Fairleigh Dickinson, so I started hosting like everything on the campus. You know, being on the radio. So there was a mobile DJs back then. This is back in the early 80s. So we would break down the DJ equipment in the radio station equipment, take it out and you know, play live. And I started hosting shit like that. Then we'd have bands and so forth. And then I started being a club DJ, and then wound up getting it. I was on which is now New Jersey 101.5. It was Kicks 101.5. So I did a live dance show, which I talked, but not that much. I was the engineer because I know how to mix music and everything. So, which I still kind of, I have a DJ business. I still do it.
That's what I was going to ask you, because when I was looking you up, I did find a DJ business. I was like, I didn't know if that was you or like another guy with the same name, but I thought it was you.
Yeah. So I have, you know, I've my two sons are in the business with me. You know, a couple guys I've known for years, and you know, it's kind of small, but I do a lot of weddings and stuff like that. And I mean, I like doing it. You know, and the money's pretty good. It pays way more than comedy.
Cool.
So, but I kind of have evolved since my sons are a little bit older. And one's 19, the other one's 26. That they're kind of doing more of the stuff. So I kind of stick and just do comedy. So it's going.
That's
well.
like, how do you? That's what I was gonna say. How do you divide your time between those two?
I have no time. I'm either working, doing that, or doing comedy, or whatever. So I'm usually moving, doing something. So
Do you do a lot of comedy gigs?
yeah, I'm pretty busy. Yeah, so and it's a lot of it's and like if you were ever getting into it, it's funny. Like I've done a couple things at the Stress Factory, like, but it was nothing major. But
Yeah.
but like I work a lot at the Comedy Cabaret, which is the guy owns 3 clubs, one in Doylestown. He has one in Jersey that just closed. He's looking for another room, and he has another one in Philly. But I'll headline the one in Doylestown, and that's one of the best rooms in Bucks County. So I'm there September 30th, working there. And then a lot of times when you're in the business, you kind of become friends with people, and people do a lot of private stuff. So you might, even though the comedy clubs are where you kind of want to be, honest to God, like I've done like VFW shows where there's 200, 300, 400 people at these things, and I'm doing a thing in a couple of weeks for the police chiefs of Burlington County, which I did last year. So I'm actually producing that show, but I have a couple of my friends on there. That's like 400 or 500 people at that thing. So it's actually more than any comedy club. Like, I'm doing the Harrington Casino in November. That holds about 450, 500. But most of the comedy clubs are about 200. But the point is that you just kind of get out there, and some of these gigs that you meet different comedians. They put you on there, and that's kind of how it just kind of happens organically. Matter of fact, one of my best friends in comedy is Julia Scotti. I don't know if you know who that is, but she was just on America's Got Talent and made it to the semifinals.
Nice. Dude,
So
that's awesome.
I've opened for her a number of different times. So she may be on something and ask me to open for her another time. So it's kind of like where I'm producing a show sometime in March for this contact at Burlington County. I'm probably going to ask her to be on that particular show. So it kind of one hand washes the other.
That's cool. That's what I was gonna ask. Like when you headline, does she open for you, and vice versa? Or?
No, she's better than me. I would not. I wouldn't open for her, but she's been in the business for a long, long time. But
Okay.
there's kind of like a protocol. Like the one guy, he's big about having co-headliners. So I think it's kind of to have like
two headliners.
two headliners. I think it's kind of to sell more tickets. Most of the people I work with could either feature or close.
Cool.
I have actually, I've only just started closing in the last year, but I've been featuring for probably 5 years, and I emceed, which is kind of how you get started in the business.
That's like still doing stand up. I feel because all the MCs always do that.
You
That's
have
what I was
to
gonna
do,
ask too. When you headlined the Taj, how long ago that was?
That was last summer.
Last summer.
Well, a year ago summer. Now the Taj is closed.
Yeah.
The guy that runs that room is Matt Bridgestone. So anybody that's into comedy, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
He has a room he just opened up outside of Caesars. So he's getting that up off the ground. So I haven't played that room yet, but I will. So
Because Matt did the show that Dave was at that we went to see.
Yeah.
He hosted that.
Dave Evans?
Dave Hodge.
Dave Hodge.
Oh, okay.
What was that show? I forget the name
It
of
was
Brookstone's Comedy, or I can't remember.
Animal House.
Animal House Comedy.
And
he
it
goes
was like a contest.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times, guys will do that, and it's kind of like a bringer, and then but it's, for you to get your foot in the door or get, to kind of get into it, you kind of have to do that a little bit. And if you shine, you get, you start moving up. It's all like young guys that come up and talk to me about it. Like even like my son, it's, I don't care where it is. If you want to get into, you have to do stage time. I don't care where it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to get up and you got to do it. And
The
more you do it,
the strip club. What is that? Black Betty's.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what the guys. Last three comedians we had on were talking about.
Kevin Goatee, when we had him on, and then Dave brought it up too.
I know Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, the one at the Taj was in the it was like an alternative room for the strip club. Like, I think they had male reviews there, so you could tell like if you'd ever been, you knew it was a strip club, but like people that hadn't been in the strip club, like my mom when she showed up. This is a beautiful venue. Yeah, Mom, it's great. Sit right here next to the pole. Don't jump up on that shit. But yeah. So that was a great room. It's a shame, they closed down. But I think Matt's going to be around for a while. The guy's a hustler. So
yeah. Kevin is a hard worker too.
Yeah, I've worked with him a number of different times. He's doing some stuff in New York, I think.
Yeah, and his show, Comics Watching Comics. I don't know if you checked that out. That's pretty cool. Like,
it's funny. He sent me. I didn't realize it was his show, but somebody sent me something on Twitter about. Maybe they were looking at some of my stuff. Maybe they shit canned me. That's why they didn't put me on. I don't know what. I don't have a ton of stuff up on YouTube. I don't like my content being out there, but like a couple things I did, is out there. So.
Cool. And what was it? Have you ever gotten any acting jobs?
Yeah, matter of fact, it's funny you should say that.
Well, I know we did talk about the Rocky
Creed,
which was that's right.
Right.
My intro now is you've seen his brief appearance, which is like if you could like picture a bald guy looking through that dirty ass glass you're drinking out of over there. I was in a back scene. of round 2. I mean, you can't. I know where I was, but it was like a blur. I'm like, I tell people they introduced. I wasn't really in it, but I was at the movie, and I'm gonna milk the shit out of this. But it was a very cool experience. Like, kind of like being. Stallone was there, and I remember because I hadn't seen the movie. I'm like, Christ, he looks like shit. And he looks terrible.
He does.
He looks, and it turns out, he had, he was playing that he had cancer, so that was like kind of the thing in the movie. Anyway,
he does look older though. Like I've seen pictures. Like
he's 70,
does.
but he's in pretty good shape for a 70-year-old guy. But I love when the movie came out. I loved it. Which I'll tell you another freaking funny story about this. My mom. Now the movie has just gone out in theater, and she's like, and she just has a very heavy New York. Bobby, I got you the DVD of Creed so you can watch it at home. My Mom, the Creed CD hasn't been released yet. They just released. No, I bought it in Philadelphia. A fellow was selling it on the street. Oh, fuck. I'm like, so I have it if anybody wants to raid the house. But she didn't know. But I watched it. It was like, some guy was shooting with his video camera. That's how desperate I was to see myself on television. I'm like, well, when I see the real movie, I'll have seen myself.
Have you gotten any other acting gigs.
No, I do voiceover work, which is kind of like acting, but nothing. It's like straight announcer work. But actually, one of my another good friend of mine I've met in comedy. I've met a lot of great people. This guy Vince Valentine, he does a show called Defending the Caveman. So he produces shows. So I've been on his shows, and he also MCs a lot of the clubs. So he's been after me to get into it. He says that I have a kind of look. One of my friends is in L.A. She's like, because doing comedy is kind of like acting anyway. She's like, you have that look. Like you could either be like a cop or a serial killer. That's what she said to me. I'm like, okay.
I like the spectrum.
Yeah, killing people, put them in the freezer, and they'll fucking bother me. Chop them up. I could do that. So.
Nice.
I wouldn't mind getting into it, but it's kind of weird because I'm a little bit older now. I'm like thinking about doing stuff that but I don't have to worry. I mean, I still have a real job and everything. But
okay, I was gonna ask that too.
Yeah, that sucks. So let's not even talk about that shit. No, I work. This is great. I'm in the freight business, so I work like I'm a national account rep for a big freight company. Like so
Nice.
It's exciting. Yeah, it gets me laid every time in the bars. No, I'm just kidding, honey. If you're listening, just a joke. No, but that's what I do. I do all right with that. But it's like I'm kind of passionate about the DJing and the comedy now.
That's what I didn't know with that. I didn't know if that's all you
Yeah.
did. If that was enough, the DJ and the.
I could probably live off of DJing, but my kids are eating freaking cat food. But I've got I got like 4. I noticed that. That's why I brought that shit. There's fucking cat food on the floor here. No, I'm kidding. No, but hey, it's good shit. No, but it was funny. I kept I enjoyed sex so much. I had 4 kids, so that was why every time I kept having these kids, I'm like, I need
you need another job.
I need a real fucking job. I need benefits. Yeah, but I probably thought I was like 25 or so. I could have lived off of being a DJ. I was doing pretty good with that. But I don't know. I like what I do. I get to meet a lot of different people. I travel and so forth. So,
Cool.
Is it hard getting yourself out there as a DJ?
It's funny because that whole business has kind of changed a little bit. Like now, DJs are more personalities. Like guys are like I mean, I heard a story one time. A guy was on a cruise ship, and he was on the cruise, and they found that I didn't even know the guy's name, but they like the guy with the freaking mouse head. I don't even know.
Oh, Dead Mouse.
Yeah. Like something like that. And
Gimmick.
They paid him like $20,000 to DJ. It's to DJ a party, which I mean, technically, I probably am just no different than that guy, but I'm in a different era. Like I worked. I worked all the major clubs in the like the Philadelphia metro area, that are, kind of come and gone, but places like the Coastline, that was a big deal. The Granada was a big deal back in the day. Being on the radio, that was that was pretty good for me. I got a lot of exposure, and then people then wanted me to, no more like if you guys ever heard of Bob Pantano, but he's out of Philly, but you're on the radio a lot now. People want you to do their weddings and so forth. So I got paid pretty good doing that.
Cool.
So
That's cool. Yeah, like that's probably the right time that you got into it. Like, because now I think it's like everybody wants to be a DJ.
Yeah,
everybody is. Or
that's why I was wondering if it's hard to get yourself out there because there's so many people doing it.
Yeah.
Like, how do you?
But you've already established your name.
Yeah. Like I have a website and stuff. But honest to God, most of the people that call me, I did their friend's wedding. I did their relatives' wedding. So it's kind of word of mouth. Then the people do find me, but it is. You're exactly right. Now, I mean, you could take that board and have a controller off your laptop, and pretty much call yourself a DJ and buy 50,000 pirated files and pop it in. And I'm a DJ, and it's a little bit different than that. It's, you have to kind of know. Like my son, great. I mean, can mix. I mean, great at mixing, but it's not just about that. It's like when you do a room and you're doing somebody's wedding and you get the 90-year-old Aunt over there, like you kind of have to know what to play that some of the older people like it, and like play music that everybody's kind of involved, and knowing when to slow it down, when to pick it up, and so forth. Kind of knowing how the flow goes for a wedding, because it's kind of like running a play, like when you're cutting the cake and all that other different stuff. So, I enjoy doing it. It's like people, you're part of their big day, and I thought like people wouldn't even want me doing this shit, like this middle-aged bald guy, but people are still fucking calling me up. So, but no, it's a lot of fun. So
cool.
I was at my buddy's birthday, the 30th birthday party. Our friend Joe Whitehead, and they had this DJ who he goes up there and only has a laptop. And
Yeah.
he plays a song and then just walks away. You never see this guy
Just
with a
played the
laptop.
song
He's
and
just-
that's it?
Yeah, and he's just eating food and getting drunk. And now there's little kids at this party. And later in the night, the DJ goes up there and he just starts cursing in the mic. He's like, "Yo, shit is about to get crazy."
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Was he eating like the guest food or did he have his own food?
He was eating the food that they supplied for the party and was like drinking all the beer.
Yeah, a lot of
Like,
guys. Yeah.
wasted.
Oh, I've heard that a million times. So he would play one song and it faded out, so
And
it's
he
dead
would
air.
just disappear.
It wasn't like a playlist?
I think he had a playlist. I think
Okay.
he just might have started up like a playlist, and then because you never really saw him.
We gotta
out
get you
there.
out there,
But,
Slambo, as a DJ.
Oh God.
But I did want to ask you, doing clubs, what was the craziest shit you've ever seen?
Crazy. Jesus Christ. Believe it or not, the craziest thing that ever happened to me, two things. All right. I actually did a bit about this one time. Oh shit! I don't know if that's one of my crazy friends are probably listening to me here, talking about DJs.
Tell them to call the show.
Yeah, we
That's-
got the show number.
That's actually my
Three.
DJ friend Tony Q, he works with Pantano and all these guys. But I'm doing this wedding. It's for a friend of a friend, and I go and it's like it's in a fire hall, which okay, all right, fine. And I get this fire hall. And it's a shit show, and the kid, honest to God, looked like Charles Manson. He comes out. It is evil. I think my fucking watch stopped. I swear to fucking God, with the dude. And I'm like looking at him, I'm like, holy shit. And the poor girl comes out. She's like 18. She's like 8 months and 2 weeks pregnant. Like just like popping the hell out.
Shotgun wedding.
Rosemary's Baby. That type of thing. So like this is like so freaking bizarre, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm making money. Like I gave him a break because they weren't buddies' friends or whatever. And so next thing, they're like the girl's family is like on this kid. They're pointing fingers and shit. Next thing, this fight breaks out.
That's what I'm gonna ask if it
Right.
fights.
It gets better,
Oh.
and so they're beating the crap out of this kid. It spills out now into the I guess into the parking lot. Now the cops are there, right? And the kid, now they got him calmed down. This is his wedding day. And so now there's doors on the side. Now my van is right there, right by the door with my stuff. And he takes his fist. Now he's all calmed down. Everything's fine. He takes his fist and he punches out my rearview mirror. He's got blood now shooting all over him. He's like, all over his hand. And the cops now are literally, now he walks in. Now they cuff him. It's his wedding, and they walk him out because they were going to cut him a break because he just got married, and they walked him out. So that was like an hour and a half in, and then it basically caterers like, show's over, show's
Wow.
over. So
Wow.
so that honest to God happened. And
Yeah.
then the other thing that happened was, this is great. I'm having flashbacks of this shit. A good friend of mine had a DJ company in Philly. All right, and he wanted all of his DJs to go there, so he knew me. He's like, "Listen, man, I want my guys to be there. Would you DJ my wedding?" I'm like, "Hell, yeah, sure, I'll do it for you." He used to work at La Costa down in Sea Isle, and and hopefully he's not listening. But so anyway, we go in. It's this beautiful place, and I'm just, and they had all this weird shit they wanted me to play. Like it was like playing music is kind of regional, but at the time they wanted me to play the Brady Bunch theme. Don't even ask me the fuck why.
Wow.
And they wanted me to play "Thank God I'm a Country Boy," right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I'm like playing like this song. Well, now I'm playing the songs at the dance floor. I mean, the first couple songs I played, it's packed, it's jumping. I got the Brady Bunch theme. I'm going into, and I see this guy is probably 400 and change on the dance floor. Thank God I'm a Country Boy. I hit that in. Next thing, shut off the music, shut off the music. I'm like, what? This guy's laying on the floor. He's out, right? Like, oh shit. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, this guy had a heart attack, right? So I shut off the music. Now the best man, everybody's hammered. He comes up. Yo, put the freaking music back on. Put the music back on. Like, no one's going to know that there's a freaking dead guy in the middle of the floor. Right? They're all, like, everybody's panicking. Next thing, they're around, now they call the ambulance. They're around, the whole family's around them. Like, you know how they do, like, the, what's it? The having a gala, but they were all, but they're all holding hands and like swaying, praying over the guy.
Wow. Oh my God.
God is my fucking witness, right? And then it was like then that wedding was over. I mean, the moral of the story is I got full price for 2 weddings and only had to work about 2.5 hours. So I was fucking, that's how I roll.
Nice.
So yeah, that was some crazy shit.
Wow, that
Yeah.
is holy shit.
Yeah.
I know. I worked in radio for a few years too, and one of the bar gigs was like a sports bar, and I saw a guy get a bottle smashed over his head. That was pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
And then we were in the van. We're like, all right, we gotta go. But we were in the van watching the cops like haul him out of there and
Yeah,
shit.
oh, I've been in many of those. I used to run a club. I was like working the door. I mean, for shit. I mean, fights were nothing. That was like I think it counts when people die. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When somebody dies, that is an event. So,
Wow, man. Did how long did that, like, the DJ at that party, like, did they kick him out? Like,
No, they
nobody-
kept him there. I don't know if he
They
was.
were
I
fine
should
with
have
it?
asked Whitehead. He might have been like a family friend or something. But this guy was not a good DJ. Me and my buddy Jerry are like, "What is this dude doing?" Like, you don't get drunk and start cursing when there's
Yeah.
little kids.
Yeah.
There. Like, it's just,
Well, that's like that movie, Old School, I
Ridiculous.
think it is. with the
Yeah.
DJ. Is it The Wedding? Yeah, he's
The
singing,
fucking yeah.
that song, but he dropping the F-bomb in there. And shit.
people like tell me that like they'll call me up and I'll tell them what my price is. Oh, I got somebody for 300. Well, that's what happens when you get somebody because you don't even need, you could play that right off the board. I mean, you have a couple of speakers. The speakers sound like shit, but it's kind of easy to get one. Like when I started, I got like vinyl. Like, you had to invest money.
That's what I was gonna
in your
say,
music. So
yeah.
now it's like I mean, now you could rip frickin' 20 songs and if that's what you want to do, rip them off of YouTube, which the sound quality is kind of shitty. I usually pay for my stuff, but guys will do that, or they'll just get a file and so that's kind of gives it a bad name. But still people. I mean, for me, like even for my kid, it's like he got started with me like doing proms and stuff like that. So now they know the name. So at least now when I go. If he was a 19-year-old kid trying to go out, they're not going to give him a prom, but the kid's legit he could do it. So,
Do you still use vinyl?
I don't anymore. But actually, believe it or not, like young guys, they were getting into vinyl again.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's Serato. I don't know if you've ever heard of Serato, but that's like kind of like the main most disc jockeys use. And when it first came out, there was like you would use 2 turntables, and the platter would actually read off the computer, and so you still had the same technique. Insofar as like scratch and so forth, but now it's guys are actually they want to get vinyl. I mean, I have guys that this a guy I know, Mike Rainey, who's he's into like young guys are into vinyl. I gave that guy a bunch of my records,
Yeah.
but it's pretty cool. But I have them all, and I taught my son how to do it. It's a different way. You really have to do it by your ear because if you're DJing on a computer, you actually see the sound waves. So if there's a beat in the music and you're matching the beat, so you're just kind of matching these. The wave gets bigger, but on a record you'll see like a break where you're going to bring it in, or you hear like it's like a thump sound when you turn it back and forth.
Have you ever competed, like in the DMCs or?
No, I think it was like kind of after my time. Like
Okay.
Honestly, like I know how to scratch. I can't scratch like those guys.
Like those
I mean,
dudes, yeah.
like dropping in. I mean, I know how to mix very very well, but like it wasn't like the people I played for. It was like they were paying me to kind of do weddings and stuff. It
Yeah,
wasn't
they
like
don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, I know how to do it, but it's
That's
like
why.
so.
Nice.
how do you decide how much you're going to charge people?
It's funny, like kind of given how long I've been doing it. I mean, there's guys that will charge $2,000 for a wedding. It's kind of like that's $2,500, and really for as long as I've been doing it in my background, I could probably
You could get that, yeah.
I charge like $1,250 for somebody's wedding, which I just went up. I was like at $1,000, but that's that's what I charge. And people usually say I'm reasonable. Sometimes like it's the private parties that sometimes people get a little like a sweet 16. Like I'll charge like depending on where it is and how many lights I have. Usually like $600-700 somewhere around there. But there are times when we may go out and do something for a few $100 because it's like on a Sunday, it's a couple hours, we don't have to bring any other equipment, the day's open, but that's kind of like the going rate. But I mean, I'm happy getting what I'm getting. I mean, it's, hey, it sounds like a lot of money, but really it's 5 hours to do the wedding. It's an hour to drive there, an hour to break down, setting up, you have to spend some time with the brides and grooms on the phone. I mean, I'll go meet with them. I'm in charge with that. Because I want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
99 times out of 100, they don't know like what's going on. It's like I kind of tell them how it's going to work and so forth. Kind of put them at ease. So that's kind of, I guess, what's kept me around so long, because, you know.
And I feel like, too, that it's good to charge a little more when you are good, because it does kind of show, like, okay, this, like, if you go, okay, yeah, maybe you know a guy who's going to do it for $100,
Yeah.
but he's going to be shit.
If you got a DJ at your wedding for $100, you are so fucked. No.
Are there guys
That's
that do,
what I'm gonna run
there are
pizza
guys
as.
that do that, though, that are like, oh, yeah, I'll DJ for $50 or something.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, it's more than, it's just like doing comedy. You can sit and, you know, I look back and, you know, even when I started, I was like, I kind of not cringe, but like, you know, how, like my setups, and you know, now it's more like, you know, I know, like if I do 25 minutes, it's 25 minutes of pretty much rapid fire. Like, you know, club owners want people laughing all the time, so I'm not doing like a long 2-minute setup and then maybe the punchline dies. You know, you don't want to have like dead air like that. You want to have stuff that's like, you know, using as little words as possible to get your point across, basically, at inflections and delivery and so forth. So, but the stuff, anything, you know, you want to do, it just takes practice. So,
Take a quick break.
We'll take a quick break, yeah.
all right.
We'll come back
All right.
and talk to Bob some more.
All right, guys, we'll be on break.
Awesome.